Sitting on a hill overlooking Virginia's beautiful Shenandoah Valley is Crossing Creeks, a therapeutic community where persons with persistent mental illness can live and work with others for the mutual benefit for all. Crossing Creeks is a vision shared by family members, mental health consumers, and mental health professionals seeking to implement a community as therapy approach as a primary instrument of healing and hope for those struggling with long-term mental illness.
I'm Warren McKean. I'm the Executive Director for Crossing Creeks, and Crossing Creeks is a therapeutic mental health community based on a 156-acre farm outside of Newmarket, Virginia. We're an 8-bed residential facility at the moment, supported with full-time staff, a core of volunteers, and a very active board of directors.
I'm Janelle Garman. I'm the Administrator and Program Manager here at Crossing Creeks. Basically, that just means that I help with all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the paperwork, making sure everybody gets their appointments with their doctors, trying to keep their care consistent with outpatient kind of services. Probably the most important thing that I appreciate about Crossing Creeks is emphasis on community. I've been in the mental health field for a few years now, and that's what makes this place really special. Unlike a lot of the other government places, this is a place where people can come and live very closely with others, really more like a family.
What the environment does is that there's a structure in place, there's a rhythm, there's a sameness, so that folks can leave the chaos that might be going on internally behind, or at least navigate coming outside of their heads, coming outside of what's going on with the mental illness, and refocusing on environment, on relationships, purposeful activity, and meaningful relationships, I call it.
We maintain a clinical director who oversees the clinical aspects of the program, individual recovery, group recovery, patient medication needs and interactions. We have a farm manager who's full-time here on site 5 days a week. We maintain a program manager, evening support. We're a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week staff facility. And as the program grows, as we add more residents, staff will grow with it.
And a lot of times people who have struggled with the mental illness will often isolate. There might be difficulties in relationships that they have. So this gives them an opportunity to learn how to be in relationship with other people again.
With mental illness, the illness itself, I feel like, robs people of the natural stages of growth and development that most of us go through.
I kind of see Crossing Creeks as a place of refuge. It's that safe place where people can come and know that it's okay to be working through this illness. It's okay to have struggled, to have maybe a troubled past, and they know that they can be here and they're going to be surrounded by people who care for them, who are going to support them, and often they'll be living with people who've gone through the same thing.
Lonnie, the farm manager, is the person who really helps maintain the structure in the outdoor activities and the kind of the bigger projects. And then the resident manager is the person who helps with the things that need to be accomplished in the household, for running the household, for meal preparation, and also for, noticing or identifying different gifts and talents.
I think a lot of people that are hurting are just longing for a sense of connection and a sense of groundedness. And being here at the farm, I know for me, being outside, having my hands in the dirt has always been healing.
For many, many years, psychiatric medicine functioned on the medical model, which is a model that's very paternalistic, very much biochemical model. And while Crossing Creeks believes in the value of medicines and the advances in biological treatment of depression, the recovery model, which is our foundation and base, is based on the idea that folks, although they're struggling with mental illness, can recover.
All of us have discovered at some point in our lives that the community is so important for our own well-being. None of us is made to live alone, to be totally independent. We need people.
Therapeutic community environment like this, what's so beautiful about it is if you're in, medical model, you're in a day program or perhaps a hospital, there are very specific times that are set aside for this is time for therapy now, or this is time for medication education. In this environment, every encounter, every interaction is grist for the mill, I call it.
Sitting down to a meal at our table, a meal that in large part we've grown here at the farm, and you can count the hands and the lives that have been a part of that meal. From the person that planted the seeds to the person that tended the gardens, weeding in the hot sun, to the people that helped harvest and preserve and finally prepared that food. It's just a real blessing.
The day starts out here at Crossing Creeks with an 8 o'clock morning meeting. All of the residents who are here are expected to participate in that. And the morning meeting is very casual. It's breakfast meeting where we sit down, kind of go over what is going on in the community for the day, any appointments that there may be going on, any activities that Lonnie, the farm manager, has planned for us to be working on. Folks are then reminded of what their responsibility or what their roles are for the day.
This is a farm, so with farm comes work, and that's one aspect that differs our model from traditional institutions, and that is you participate in the work.
I've come to the conclusion that people who've gone through special struggles in life are often the people that inspire me most. People who have all kinds of struggles within their minds, within their histories, and yet seeing folks choose to get up each morning, choose to go out to that garden and till that garden, choose to go out and feed the goats, feed the chickens, despite all that they're struggling with at that moment. These are the folks that have so much to teach me. I believe that Crossing Creeks is a healing place, not only for people who come here for a year or two to find special healing, but for all people who touch it, because we touch each other in that very organic and very whole kind of way.
I see great things in our future too. We're only going to grow with the support of people. We're only going to grow as our larger circle of support grows. It's people really that are going to help us grow. People are going to provide that passion, that energy. People are going to help to provide the animals. They're going to provide the funds and the passion that will see Crossing Creeks onto its new ventures.
But this was a vision of a core group of people that remain committed to this day, that they were going to start a therapeutic community in Virginia. And this is where it started. This is what the end result has been. And that vision remains strong in those people. Those people remain committed to the program, and they're still very active. So they're going to take this beyond the point of just the initial startup, the 8-bed residential facility, and we'll build the dream.